Hi, I'm Susan Morse, Managing Editor for Healthcare Finance News. I am here with Dr. Joy Bhosai. Welcome. She is CEO and founder of Pluto Health. I'd like to ask first, where did Pluto come from?
Well, Pluto is a name that we just came up with during a quick research meeting. It kind of just stuck and was memorable for everyone. But Pluto is a Duke spin-out.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get back to that. And Joy also spoke today during the Pharma Forum on digital health, the long view. What is the long view for digital health?
So the long view for digital health as it relates to clinical trials and research is very simple. We have to start treating research participants. Let me take a step back. We have to start thinking more about participants as people and not just research subjects or data. So I think in the long view, innovative tools will require and implement processes that live with the patient, make sense for the patient, and stay with the patient for the long run. I think that the world has seen the huge need for digital transformation in clinical trials over the last year with COVID.
Yes.
We have been pushed to think about new frontiers of how do we deliver and get data with and alongside patients in their homes rather than just the traditional four walls of a clinic.
Right.
And how do we engage with people over time? So I think in that regard, I'm really excited about the future of digital health as it relates to research.
And tell us about Pluto Health and what you do and how did that spin out of Duke?
Yeah, I really, as a physician, I really wanted something that stayed with the patient. So the Pluto bridges siloed data across multiple health systems within a few minutes. And the concept is simple. We start with the patient. We don't start with what hospital they're at, what research site they're at. We really engage with the patient initially at the point of care and then follow them through time and be helpful with them through time.
I'm wondering how you do that. Do they want text messages? Do you meet them in person? How does that work?
Well, we're really about integrating with the workflow. So what makes sense both for the provider and the patient. And so Pluto is introduced whenever a medical form gets requested. So it can be with your doctor. Just as day-to-day, you're seeing a new specialist,
Right.
seeing a new doctor, getting admitted to the hospital for the first time or in the emergency room and you need all your records. And then it can also be introduced at the start of a clinical trial. So as you're thinking about getting enrolled, when they ask for your medical records, that's when Pluto gets introduced.
Okay, very good. And how long has Pluto been around?
Well, we've been working on it for many, many years, but we officially launched last year in November.
Oh, what a time.
Yes.
And then March came.
Yes.
We hear a lot about the patient experience
Yes.
and what's needed. And what have you found is needed? If it starts with the patient, what is lacking and what should they get? What are they asking for?
Well, I think the first thing about technology and people, that we have to establish trust, right? What are you doing with the data? Why are you collecting it? How is it going to be useful for me? And so at Pluto, we've really strived to make sure that we have very strict data sharing policies. We will never share your data without not only your consent, because it's not okay just to click through and press the agree button, at least from the Pluto realm of things. We make sure that you say who you want to share the data with, and if we're thinking about sharing the data because it might be good for whomever, you know exactly who you want to share data with, and you can decide not to share data with them. So we're really all about being transparent. The other thing that I think is also important in terms of patient engagement is understanding how to make things simple. So thinking about the fact that a patient doesn't want to remember their username and password every single time. They don't want to log into every single portal patient portal under the sun
Yeah.
into every other hospital that they've been to. So how do we innovate around that? Our Pluto team has really thought hard about that. So it's a pretty quick, easy to use, streamlined solution. The other piece is thinking about health equity, right? So how do we make tools to reach out to everyone? So it's not okay for our team to design something that's just available on an iPhone and the newer models. Like, we have to make sure that it's available on iPhone, Android, and a plain phone. Or how do we also include tools that don't require someone to have a smartphone? And so thinking along those lines has been really important for our team in terms of accessibility
Yeah.
and usability for patients.
All big points. Because of COVID, of course, brought a lot of that to light. What's next?
Well, we're really excited about continuing to scale our solutions across the provider and research space. I'm really excited to use and implement our tools to address care gaps for patients. So our team has been working really hard about what do we do with the data. So when we have the data, data is data, but it's not information. And information is not useful unless there's action that is followed through with that. And so our team has been working really hard thinking about how do we address the care gaps that are revealed to us because we have the privilege of accessing this precious data. And so that's next for our company.
Addressing the care gaps.
Yes.
That is, is there a care gap that you see that is prevalent right now?
Yeah. I mean, it varies from patient to patient since health is so, personal.
Yeah.
What you need one day might be different for another, but I'll tell you, I got my parents on our platform and I realized my dad was missing his age-appropriate colonoscopy screening, and my mom was overdue for her mammogram, and they were missing their shingles vaccine. And so we really are working to shine a light on what people need to maintain their health.
Yeah.
So really excited about that for us.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.